Hello everyone, my name is NikoTheLegend, also known as the Well-Mannered Teenager and the Snowflake, and welcome to perhaps, the most bullcrap video I've ever made in my entire YouTube career. Because this one was literally just grabbed out of a hat, which is my head, the inside of it. Yeah, I pulled this one straight out, and I'm kind of curious to what you guys have to say. Also, I'm bored, and there's nothing really to talk about in Mass Effect news in general. So, I thought this would be kind of fun to discuss, and I hope, I could see this video not doing anything for views and minutes or whatever view time, but I'm like, if it does, I'm just saying, hypothetically, I'm kind of curious to see what you guys say about this. And as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about things related to the price tag of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Yes, I can't get enough on the milking. Like I said before, I'm milking this all the way to release date of the Legendary Edition whenever it comes out, and many moons afterwards. And it's going to be talked about on the channel for eons beyond eons beyond eons. Eons on eon beyond, yeah, something like that. So, with the Mass Effect Legendary Edition being announced, supposedly coming out on March 12th, that's the big old rumor. And, take it with a grain of pepper. Not salt this time. This one's going to be some pepper. I'm already feeling salty as it is because our latest videos for the channel is, pretty much states that. Anyway, let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. God, you gotta love not having a script. And there's probably like a bunch of sweaty kids right now just, like, oh my god, hurry up. Guys, $60 for the Legendary Edition. How does that make you feel? I'll just let you guys soak it in right now. This sounds like a podcast format, but it's, we're getting to the point already. $60 for a Legendary Edition for 3 games, which, don't get me wrong, the majority of us all loved, and there's a lot of diehard Mass Effect fans out there. There's Andromeda fans who never played Mass Effect Original Trilogy, which I can't wait till they do. And this could be their first time ever buying the trilogy. So maybe they won't have a clear idea on what's the proper price tag for this. Is $60 justifiable for the treatment of the Mass Effect trilogy and Andromeda and the Mass Effect franchise itself? A re-release of 3 games that have been out since 2007 through 2012. Do you believe that $60 is justifiable for a remaster? Now, we all know Nintendo likes to do this. They like to bring out remasters for games and they charge full price, especially for first-party games, because they know people will buy them. They have a great track record with Mario games, Zelda games, Donkey Kong, Metroid, whatever first party you can think of, Animal Crossing. People will spend the $60 on because those games have great reception, great reputation. There's no bull around it. It's just they're straight to the point. They develop games for the gamers because they love to see how people react and enjoy their product. Because consumers in the end are the ones that pay these companies, okay? Maybe besides shareholders or something, or stock markets, I don't know. But that depends on consumers too. For example, with Nintendo, you have the Mario 3D All-Stars, which is $60. I'm still waiting for it to be $40, and then I'll purchase it. To me, that's a little too pricey, because it's just 3 old-as-heck Mario games that have been out for forever, and then all of a sudden, Nintendo decides to care about it, and then they release it, and then it's like, hey, $60, cough it on up. And it's a limited time release, too, which is even crazier. Good thing eBay exists for this and other websites. Now, that's just an example. In my opinion, I didn't think it's $60 is justifiable, despite these games not always being re-released, but they're just remasters. Okay, still, bottom line, I don't think remasters should ever be $60, ever. That's just a me thing. Now, if there was a remake involved in a collection of those games, then that's different, because that is a lot of time and effort put into a remake, for sure. Like the Yakuza games, for example. Now, back to what we're talking about. The Mass Effect Legendary Edition, we know, is not a remake, it's not a reimagining, this, and that. It's a remaster. It's an upscaled, modernized version of games we already know that we're going to play, and it has some bells and whistles. hopefully added to it to make it a more complete experience. Maybe we'll get some cut content in there, or this, and that, A, B, C, D. Nobody knows. Like, EA is the teacher, or BioWare, and they haven't passed out the the review papers yet for us to even really get a glimpse of what we're up against. The practice test isn't here yet for the final exam. We're still waiting on that, and it's overdue at this point in time of this video. Now, if you want to know what I think about it being, if it turns out to be $60, even if the retail sites on whatever that you find it on already, like Best Buy, Amazon, if it says $60 already, we don't know for sure if that's going to be the actual price, okay? Because there's not even an official release date yet on those websites, at least from my understanding, from what I've seen. It's like, what, December 31st, 2021, the usual thing they do. But just correct me if I'm wrong. I appreciate anybody out there who likes to fact check me. I like to be correct on this as much as possible. And it saves me time and effort because I'm a lazy piece of crap. And I'll be the first to admit it. But with that said, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, to me, I feel that I don't... Now, I'm not trying to say this for argumentative sake. Actually, maybe I am, and I'm just being a jerk about it. Right now, I'm going to say no. Just because I'm going with a safe bet here. Just because we haven't seen anything from it yet. And I know people are going in guns blazing, and they're just going to buy it anyway, no matter what product they're fed. It doesn't matter. It's just Mass Effect, buy. I get that. I'm going to buy it no matter what, too. I'm not afraid to admit it. Whether it's good or bad, I'll still be able to prove a point, and I'll provide content for you guys on the YouTube channel. But that's not what I'm ultimately trying to do. I do want to experience this as a whole, and along with you guys, of course. And, if you're not okay with that, then I can't help you there. But I like to get us all connected here. Yeah, right now I don't think, because, okay, as days go by and we haven't seen anything on this yet, the value of this Legendary Edition goes down for me. Just on a consumer level, emotional level, physical level, I guess, because I want to go there and purchase it myself with my hands typing on the keyboard or something through Amazon or whatever you want to call it. It goes down in value each day. And I know that that's more on a subjective level, right? I get it. And no matter what, it could be $60, but to me, deep down, I'd want to wait to buy it when it's cheaper. Because on how they're dealing with everything, this remastered trilogy, this Legendary Edition hasn't been shown in the light of day at all. It's just being kept in a coffin under wraps, tightly wrapped like a mummy, somewhere in Egypt. You're not allowed to go to it because EA bodyguards are all over the place. But that's besides the point. It gets me worried. And I want to spend the full amount of money. I do. Especially if there's a collector's edition of this. That'd be awesome. But we don't know that. Now, many of you will, no matter what, will spend whatever they throw at you. And you know what? I say to those people out there, I hope you're careful about it. I hope you do the research. I hope... Because some of you are just going to go in without even, with rose-tinted glasses on. And, I've done that before with companies that I have trusted. I did it with BioWare, with the Old Republic back in the day. And to me, I loved everything I got out of that game. But now BioWare's a completely different company. So let's just say, we were told multiple times about what the Old Republic was going to be. And now we get to this. And we don't know what any of this is going to be. We just are going with nostalgia at this point. We are ultimately going with our emotional attachment to this thing. We're not going with the facts entirely, which is really hard to do, especially when it's something that we're so attached to. I get that. And if I was a person that wanted to buy a remastered trilogy, and we've been getting a lot of these remastered trilogies in the past 10 years, like Borderlands, for example, is a primary suspect, and they charge full price for stuff like that, and it doesn't look anything better. To me, to my eyes, it doesn't amount to $60. Honestly, anytime a game gets remastered, I think it deserves to be at least $40. Now, I get that, these guys, these developers work very hard, throughout each day, tired days, nights, psychological impacts. I get all that, okay? But we don't really care about that when it comes to the dollar sign, okay? When it comes to the value, the face value, that's what ultimately has us decide if we want to get it or not. Because you're not going to be thinking about those other people that worked on the games that's going to maybe you like tie it into the value of the game. Nobody ever does that for the most part. I shouldn't say nobody, but for the most part. Now, you can do it that way out of respect. You know, Red Dead Redemption 2 is another prime example of hard labor done right in terms of just bringing out an awesome game that I liked. I love that game. And those guys worked day in and day out on that game. And, you know, there's articles all over the place about how they were working overtime. This, you know, it's no different. Same thing with Cyberpunk. Now, I want to hear what you guys think about what the remastered trilogy is truly worth to you. Just think about it. Just put the emotions aside. If you looked at the remasters that have come out throughout the years and how companies have treated it as a cash grab, as just raking in the cattle to spend more money on their product, whatever excuse that you saw or reason that you saw people buying it, what do you think deep down, you know? And then as soon as you get, you know, the facts, the numbers, and the value and the track record of these companies releasing these remastered trilogies and how they've been treating their bread and butter, their babies, their IPs, then you can go with there, and then you can add the emotional value to it. Now, as I said before, I'm going to buy this no matter what, because I want to enjoy this best I can, and also if it turned out to be schlock, then I have something to talk about. I have something to relay to you guys for anybody who's going to look me up in the future. Any people that want to do the research on this, besides looking up Metacritic reviews, because that's a nightmare in itself. I just think deep down that any remastered trilogy, any remastered game per se, is $40. I know it's 3 games in one. Big games, a lot of content and everything, but these games have been out for so long, and BioWare and EA have not been having a great track record lately. So the question stands, why am I going to put my $60 worth of faith into a remastered trilogy, which we haven't seen anything about it yet? Not one thing. Just a blog post and a teaser trailer. That's all we've seen. And it's going to come out in less than 2 months, supposedly. It's like $60 amount to that? And then in the end, it could turn out to be schlock. Like that's the gray area right there. That's when you gotta tread lightly. And if it turns out great for you guys that go in gun ho, that's great. I hope it does. Trust me, I'm not the enemy here. I'm just playing devil's advocate, or I'm just trying to. No, I'm not making a straw man argument out of this. Trust me, I'm just curious and I want to have fun with this. I'm also on board. Besides the point. $40 is a good price for me for a remastered trilogy. You know, as I was stating before, you know, these are great games with a lot of, you know, love and care for the most part, and we want to see that love and care again. And back in the day when these games were coming out, it was a lot easier because BioWare was on fire. Nowadays, they are not even close to being on fire. So it's going to be pretty gutsy of them to charge full price on this Legendary Edition. Especially when we haven't seen anything on it yet. Besides a teaser trailer. I hate to keep bringing up, you know, being repetitive, but I just want to get an imprint in your guys' head on where I'm coming from. Now, this video is about to hit 15 minutes, and you might have thought, hey, this is way too long to talk about a stupid price tag. But hey, to me this stuff's important, and I think it's good to just, you know, be that person that I am to try to talk about things that nobody really talks about. Look it up on the internet. Maybe you will find it. I haven't found it about this remastered trilogy's price tag and true value of it all. I haven't found it yet. But guys, we're just having a conversation here. We're just trying to have fun, and I'm looking forward to this coming out no matter what. I just did an awesome collab with 3 other great individuals discussing everything Mass Effect, and we definitely talk about the remastered trilogy and stuff. Not a shameless plug. I'm just, you know, having a source of, that's good proof on how I'm also feeling about it. With that said, guys, for anybody who's lasted this long, I appreciate it. I just wanted to talk about this, the price tag of the remastered trilogy, and what you think. And you can let me know down in the comments below if you like, or you can dislike this video. That's also fine, as long as I get the reception, I guess. If this gets anywhere, if this gets to in the light of day, if this makes it out there, that's fine. I'll be happy with just that. But let me know what you guys think, for sure. I would love to know what you guys think deep down this trilogy is worth, this remastered trilogy of the price tag. Is it worth $60? Do you think it's worth even more, less? Should it even be free? That's another insane thing going in my head right now, circling in my head. Anyway, thanks again, guys. I have been your host, NikoTheLegend, also known as the Well-Mannered Teenager. You can find me in my Discord channel, of course. Love to have you guys there. The link's down below. The YouTube. You can check me out on Twitch. Yada, yada, yada. The links are all there. And Pathfinders, I hope we all have a great time playing this, and I hope we're all happy in the end. But if it turns out that we're not happy in the end, don't be surprised, because we've been disappointed by these companies before. And that, my friends, is a fact.